Morning, Billy Knight. William Knight, sorry.
You can call me Billy, Nick.
Well, how very kind. And how are you settled into Newmarket? It looks a very grand establishment where you are at the moment.
Yeah, I'm like the cat that's got the cream. It's a fantastic yard. Horses all moved up here last Saturday, and we are very, very happy.
And just for clarity, you've moved into the yard that's been vacated by David Lanigan, who's moved back to Kentucky. That's right, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. David has gone to America. We had sort of been speaking sort of after Christmas time, and sort of I knew that was sort of his plan, and I was just in a position at the time where we felt it was a good opportunity to move back to Newmarket, and so it's all sort of worked out well for both of us.
Because essentially the early part of your career was characterised by doing your own thing. I mean, it would have been the obvious thing to do after you'd been assistant to Ed Dunlop and others to stay in Newmarket or find a premises in Newmarket, but you went down to Angmering in West Sussex. Are you still happy you made that choice?
Yeah, I think at the time it was the right decision to make, because we did look at yards at that time in Newmarket and in Lambourne, and just couldn't find the right yard. Angmering seemed the right, it came across us. It's a lovely yard, and at that time it was the right decision. And I think it was nice to move away from Newmarket at that time to sort of get going, and we had a good time down there, but we just feel that we're going slightly through the motions. Possibly we should have done this 4 years ago, but I think it was important that we came to the right yard up here, which this very much is. And yeah, I think it's a good opportunity for us to sort of try and move the business forward, try and get more horses, try and get better quality horses.
And it's not just a question of you upping sticks and moving. You've got to take into account your family, your children, the schools, the staff that you've got a huge responsibility to. How's that all hung together?
It's actually pieced together really well. As far as the family is concerned, my wife Emily's from Newmarket anyway, so she's come back to her roots. My two girls are incredibly excited. They're 10 and 8 years old. I'm 43 years old. I just think if there was ever a time to do it, now is the time. The staff, I'd say 75% of my staff have come up here, have come with us, which is great. So it's going to take a little bit of time for them to sort of settle in, because they're only used to sort of Angmering Park. None of them have worked in Newmarket before. But they've all managed to find themselves accommodation, and seem very happy. And yeah, so it's actually pieced together amazingly well. I'm sure there's going to be a few teething problems, but everyone seems very happy and settled.
And doing this in the middle of the coronavirus crisis is unimaginably hard, but you've evidently got there and got settled in. What have the challenges been that you've had to overcome?
Well, this was all going through, before the pandemic sort of really got going, and so leases were being drawn up, etc. So we had the decision at that time whether to put it on hold and wait to the end of the season or just continue, and we were sort of 3/4 of the way down the line, so we felt that let's get on and get it done. What it has done, has enabled us time to let the horses get settled in, let the staff aren't busy, meet different meetings, we're not hectic in the yard, so it's given us time to sort of plan it properly and get up here, let the horses settle into a routine, and hit the ground running hopefully on June the 1st.
So in essence it's been less of a disadvantage to you than it might have been.
I hate to say this, but it has, to be honest with you. It's actually, if anything, it's probably helped us. And I shouldn't be saying that because, you know, I don't want to be selfish in that respect, because, you know, all my fellow trainers, jockeys, owners, you know, we want racing back on, you know, as quickly as possible. But yes, it has helped me. It's let me, you know, I was able to get the horses fit back in Sussex. They've come up here probably only needing one more bit of work, which can be done, you know, in sort of a week, 10 days time. And, you know, I'd have most of them ready to run. The 2-year-olds have been going through their education. Nothing's really changed for them. And so, yeah, so and as I say, for the staff, it has just given them that time to organise, get themselves moved into their houses, you know, rather than having to be up at Pontefract overnight, and not being able to get their curtains up, or, you know, whatever things they need to do. So it's given us time, and also I've been able to, you know, bring the horses up here fit and ready to run.
So it's probably been north of 15 years since you were living in Newmarket last. How has the place? I hope he's still there. Yes, he is. How has the place changed?
It's actually, obviously everything's in the same place, but the facilities here have improved from when I was here. You know, just bits like the trotting, when you trot over to Warren Hill, it's all now rubber flooring. You know, the gallops are all newer surfaces. It looks as busy as ever. But I think the facilities and the walking tracks, the trotting tracks, the gallops have all definitely moved on and are better than when I was here sort of 14 years ago, for sure.
And just in terms of the number of horses you've got to go to war with, how many are you looking at?
What about 50 horses? Literally bang on 50. So you know, I think we've got nearly 80 boxes here, so we've got some empty boxes, but, you know, we're very much, the plan is to fill those.
And who are you sort of really pinning your hopes on? Who's going to be out of the blocks fast to put you on the map in Newmarket?
We've got, so that, you know, the 3-year-olds are all coming along nice. I've got a nice horse called Progressive Rating, who won quite smartly last year at Kempton, then followed up at Wolverhampton. You know, he looks quite a nice prospect. You know, a couple of the 3-year-olds there are come to hand. Older horse-wise, I've still got quite a few of the older boys, which, you know, have quite high in the handicap, some of them, but, you know, there's no real superstar other than, you know, as I say, Progressive Rating would be the horse I'd probably be most looking forward to.
Here's a question for you. Is there a horse that has really transformed for the move, that seems to have taken it incredibly well, or is thriving for new surroundings?
It's sort of too early to say that, really, Nick. You know, we've literally been here a week, and you know, this week we've just been doing steady canters out the back here, and we did venture over to Warren Hill Friday, Saturday. So, you know, I haven't. It's too early to really to say that. Or what I can say is that the younger horses seem to have settled in quicker than the older horses. The older horses who have probably been at Angmering Park for a long time. Slightly, you know, it's just taking them a little bit more time to adjust. But again, this is why, you know, not having racing until June the 1st, it just enables me to give them that sort of easy week, 10 days, just to get them on their feed, you know, just get them settled in themselves. But it actually might help those boys because they're, you know, it's a change of scenery, something different for them as well. So, yeah, hopefully the likes of Gavlar and Noble Gift and Kingston Courageons and those sort of horses, it might just give them something else to think about.
William, thanks so much for joining us. Best of luck with it all. Looking forward to seeing you, or seeing your horses, on a racecourse very soon.